Right, I'm back with my initial thoughts on the Sony NW-A105. So I've had it a couple of days. I did the initial setup, which if you've ever set up an Android phone, you'll understand exactly how it sets up. So just run through it all. You put your email address associated with your Google account and hey presto, it magically all works. So I've changed a few of the things on the front screen because obviously I've added my own apps to it. So let me just do this off camera. So you go in past the lock screen, and just before I start, I'll tell you something about the battery life on it because it's quite interesting. So Sony claim that it's something like 24 hours max down to about 9 hours. I've got about 5 hours, and that's with Bluetooth on, that's with Bluetooth off, that's with Wi-Fi on, Wi-Fi off. It's all been high-res files. I've tried a couple of MP3s out of Spotify, but generally it's been high-res files, a few podcasts, etc. But generally I've found 5 hours, maybe a little bit more, but not much, has been my overall runtime. So don't expect to be getting a whole day out of this. I mean, it might be, they claim that if you're running just an MP3 and you've got nothing else on, that it runs for longer, and it may well do. I've not fully tested that out, but yeah, as I said, averaging about 5 hours, and it is a portable player, so you'd expect to be running it on Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, etc. So anyways, that's the first bit. So in terms of the second bit, and I'm sure the bit a lot of you will want to know about is how it sounds. I'm no audiophile. I have some reasonably nice headphones, both Bluetooth ones and wired, and I'll list those down in the description as to which ones I've been using. Generally this sounds really good. When it comes out the box, it's got some real, I think it's sibilance, where it just runs over and over. The S sound is really shrill, and also there were a couple of artists I was listening to that have got quite naturally shrill voices when they sing, and it really emphasised them in a really bad way. As soon as you muck about with any of the EQ settings, it changes and it goes away. But it is something that you will need to think about if for some reason you listen to people who have got very shrill voices. But generally, this sounds been really good. It really does like bass and guitars. It sounds greater. Is it a massive leap forward from anything I've heard before? Probably not. But it's a lovely small package, and it does sound good for what it does. So just having a quick look at it. So I know I showed it the other day. I put my SD card in. It was 128 gig, which all worked fine, and loaded the music on relatively quickly from my Windows 10 PC. So it filled the card up in probably about hour and a half, 2 hours. Didn't time it exactly, so bear with me one sec while I just put my password in off camera. So this is kind of like the screen you'd be greeted at. This is on full brightness. As you can see, there's some quick settings there. So there's a noise cancelling ambient sound mode. Now they're only available with certain headphones, and I can't see which headphones. Now I do have some Sony Bluetooth Hear-On headphones, the first generation I think they are, and they don't seem to do anything with those. So my guess is there's a list somewhere. I've not seen it just on the on the page for this device. So if anybody knows what they are, then obviously they could pop that in the comments. That would help everyone else. In terms of everything else, so yeah, everything works really well. The noise cancelling functions, they don't work when you're paired with Bluetooth, and weirdly enough, the up and the volume controls don't also work with Bluetooth depending. So they don't work with Bluetooth headphones. You have to use the volume controls in the Bluetooth headphones, but I do have like a mini Bluetooth amp, and it will control the volume on that. Obviously for headphones, it just controls the volumes for those. So you've got direct, which will turn everything off. I've obviously got it set for vocal at the moment, just because it removes that shrillness that I was talking about. You've got, the other thing is when it's on Bluetooth, you can't change any of the EQ. So it just kind of takes all the EQ settings out. So one of the things I did want to do with it was obviously upscale MP3s to listen to those Bluetooth, but it won't let me do that. So this upscale, this DSE-HX, which is the upscale part, doesn't seem to do that over Bluetooth. So unless I'm mistaken, I can't find a way of doing that. Never used the linearizer, never used that because I'm not really worried about that. Did use the vinyl processor. Did seem to add a few little pops and scratches in. not quite as warm as I thought it might be. You know, when you're listening to vinyl, it does have a certain sound to it, and doesn't seem to recreate that quite as well as I thought it would do. And clear audio didn't use. So I've not used too many of the settings, because most of the time it has been on Bluetooth, so it's just had all the settings turned off. But like I said, you will need to do something with the equalizer when you first get it. So little circle takes you back to the home screen. Screen's really bright, it's really responsive, quick to use. I will say that there were some issues initially with the Wi-Fi times and the loading times of certain things. So if I go into Amazon Music now, you can see that it's not the fastest device ever. As I've clicked in, it's still not waiting. Now it is normally quicker than this, so not quite sure why it's doing that. Let's just close everything down, and then we'll see what happens if we go back into it. Yeah, there we go. So I'm guessing, so I don't know how much memory is in this, but I'm guessing it's not a lot, because it doesn't seem to be able to hold many apps. But like I said, in terms of sound and everything else, it is well worth a buy if you want a very small pocketable music player, which I did take out yesterday. So you can see, this is where it gets a bit frustrating. Some of the apps taking time to load. If you go into your own music, which is under the music player, and then if I just click on, I don't know, let's do albums or something. No comments on my music taste. These are everybody's collection from my entire house. So if I click on those are all really quick to obviously go in and therefore start playing. Obviously you won't hear anything because there's no headphones connected. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've missed. Oh yeah, there's a bit around the Bluetooth module. So the Bluetooth module is obviously up here. And then if you hold it, as you might do, cupped in your hand, and you cover this, you will find that Bluetooth stutters and stammers, and you start to lose the signal on it. And then I think that's everything that I can say about it so far. If there are any comments or any questions, then just let me know and I'll try and answer them. Okay, thanks.